Welcome to the first installment of our Only in Owsley series. This is where you can take a virtual road trip to some of our county's most interesting places and hear stories about some awesome inhabitants and visitors to our county. Sit back, relax, and welcome to the stories of Only in Owsley. This is installment 1, episode 1 of Legends and Legacies. Now, there is no denying that America is full of legendary stories about pioneer men and women who took risks and chances to see and settle the new world and leave us their legacy. Now, we're going to take an adventure into the stories, histories, and legends and legacies of Owsley County. Today, our story is going to focus on Daniel Boone. Boone was born in Berks County, Pennsylvania on November the 2nd, 1734. He was the 6th child born of 11 children to the immigrant Quaker parents called Squire and Sarah Boone. As time went on, his family had multiple reasons for leaving Pennsylvania, but before winding up in Kentucky, Boone had been working with a fellow during the French and Indian War by the name of John Finley. Now, Finley was a goods trader. And Finley was the one who actually told Boone about the wilderness west of the Appalachian Mountains called Kentucky, a place rich with wild game and opportunity. Finley later accompanied Boone on his first trip to Kentucky, which is believed to be around 1767. Before Daniel Boone helped to blaze the wilderness trail through the Cumberland Gap and parts of Kentucky before it was Kentucky, Boone had come back for a second visit, and that area is what we now know as Owsley County. Now, from 1769 to 1771, Daniel Boone was on a 2-year hunting trip in this area. Now, I can't be certain of what he was hunting when he came here, but there was a time when Owsley County and the state of Kentucky had an abundance of buffalo here. Boone was impressed with this area, and he called it a place where peace crowns the sylvan shade. Now, in 1775, Boone and 30 men armed with axes started clearing a way that would allow him to bring new settlers farther into the state to a more permanent settlement. The work they did is today known as the Wilderness Trail. While working on the route, they ran into some trouble with the Shawnee. Boone came back through Owsley in 1780 and camped near where the current Booneville Courthouse now stands. On a couple of different occasions, the site was referred to as Boone Station. Daniel Boone's favorite camping spot is located about a half a mile south of Booneville, between the highway and the river, just below the area known as the Sag. Now, Boone was not a man to be idle. In 1784, Boone came back to do some land surveying for James Moore Sr. and Colonel John Donaldson. Now, James Moore Sr. was considered to be the very first settler of what we now know as Owsley County and Booneville. According to information on the family history's genealogy page for the Moore family, James Moore Sr. was born in England in 1726, and he moved to Owsley County and stayed there until his death in 1825. He lived to be around the ripe old age of 99. Now, James Moore and his wife Ellen Hamilton Moore, who was originally from Scotland, were the first permanent settlers, or considered the first permanent settlers of Owsley County. Ellender herself enjoyed a very long life too. It was said that she was born in 1740 and died around 1835 at the age of 95. Now, when Boone came to start the job of surveying parts of this area for the Moores and Colonel Donaldson, his starting point for the survey was at a place that some have referred to as Boone Rock or Goose Rock, and it is at the mouth of Sexton's Creek. Now, Boone carved his initials on the rock to mark it, but over the years the stream has changed and the initials are no longer viewable, even during the dry seasons. Now, Daniel Boone's family owned land in the county, and they owned the final piece of land around Meadow Creek before selling it to William Strong. According to recorded records in Clay County, Boone's son held property in that area and sold the last parcel around 1820. Currently, there is an unused stockyards building that is still there, and it's no longer in operation, but that is the last known property where the Boone family owned. Now, Daniel Boone had descendants who remained in the area. His granddaughter, Leah Shull Newnham, and other Boone descendants are buried at the Newnham Cemetery in Pebworth, Kentucky. The Kentucky Heritage Council has designated Newnham Cemetery as a Kentucky landmark and deems it worthy of preservation. Now, Tom and Bonnie Cornett own the property where the Newnham Cemetery is, and they live right at the beginning of it. They maintain the location, and they're happy to give a guided tour of the cemetery whenever they are asked. Now, there are reminders of the legendary pioneer Daniel Boone who came into this land. The Daniel Boone National Forest, for example, was named in his honor. Daniel Boone's legacy doesn't come without some knocks and pings, but that's a lesson for a whole nother time. The truth is, America was not settled by perfect men and women, but men and women trying to find perfection. To those of us that love and think Owsley County is wonderful just the way it is, it was Daniel Boone who took out into the wilderness to bring our ancestors from the areas of Virginia, North Carolina, and from other places far and wide to live and learn and love. And for that alone, we're grateful. Thank you for joining us for the first installment, Episode 1 of Legends and Legacies. In our next episode, we will be talking about a beloved baseball player. So we hope that you'll join us as we tell you more about all the things that are only in Owsley.